In the dense jungles of the Pacific, Japanese infantrymen were trained to fear many American weapons. The roar of naval guns, the rattle of machine guns, the scream of dive bombers. But there was one sound they never trained for. A short, thunderous blast. Deep, violent, final. The sound of a 12-gauge American shotgun. At close range, it was not just a weapon. It was shock, terror, and instant death delivered in less than a second. And when U.S. Marines brought shotguns into jungle assaults, Japanese defenders quickly realized this was a battlefield they were no longer prepared for. The Pacific War was unlike anything seen in Europe. No long front lines, no open fields, no clear visibility. Instead, jungles, caves, trenches, and sudden ambushes from 10 meters away. Japanese infantry doctrine was built on rifles, bayonets, and coordinated charges. The standard Arisaka rifle was accurate and powerful, but slow to cycle. In the jungle, speed mattered more than precision. And that is where American forces adapted faster than anyone expected. The shotgun was not new to American soldiers. It had already proven itself in World War I trench warfare, where German troops called it inhumane. Now, in the Pacific, U.S. Marines rediscovered its brutal effectiveness. Pump-action shotguns like the Winchester Model 1897 and Model 1912 fired devastating buckshot loads. At close range, a single blast could clear an entire trench corner or cave entrance. No aiming, no second chances, just raw stopping power. Japanese infantry were trained to face rifles and machine guns. They expected controlled fire. They expected reload pauses. They expected predictable patterns. What they encountered instead was chaos. A Marine could fire, pump, and fire again in seconds, each blast spreading lethal pellets across a wide area. In jungle combat, there was nowhere to dodge. Shotguns turned narrow paths, bunker entrances, and caves into death traps. Guadalcanal was where the shotgun earned its terrifying reputation. Night attacks were common. Japanese units relied on stealth and sudden charges. But Marines armed with shotguns could stop assaults instantly. Buckshot tore through charging formations at point-blank range. Veterans later recalled how Japanese soldiers would freeze shocked by the sheer violence of the weapon. The shotgun didn't just kill, it broke momentum. Japanese defenses relied heavily on caves and underground bunkers. Rifles were awkward inside tight spaces. Grenades were dangerous to throw blindly. Shotguns were perfect. A Marine could fire into darkness and neutralize everything inside instantly. Japanese soldiers described the weapon as impossible to counter in confined spaces. Once the shotgun appeared, caves became tombs. The psychological effect was devastating. Japanese troops began to associate American assaults with sudden, unstoppable destruction. The shotgun's blast echoed unnaturally loud in jungle terrain. It sounded closer than it was, more powerful than expected. Some Japanese units reportedly avoided close-quarters engagements once shotguns were confirmed in the area. Fear had entered the battlefield. Interestingly, shotguns were far less common in Europe. Why? European battlefields favored long-range combat, open terrain, armor, and artillery dominance. The Pacific demanded different tools. The shotgun was a jungle weapon, brutal, simple, and perfectly suited to the environment. Japan had no real answer. They lacked equivalent close-quarters weapons. Production limitations prevented rapid adaptation. Training doctrine could not change fast enough. By the time lessons were learned, American firepower had already shifted the balance. U.S. Marines later described the shotgun as their most trusted weapon in the jungle. Not glamorous, not precise, but absolutely reliable. When everything went wrong, the shotgun worked. Many veterans refused to give them up, even when ordered otherwise. The legacy didn't end in World War I. From Vietnam to modern conflicts, shotguns remain in American arsenals. Their role was proven in the Pacific, where surprise, fear, and raw power mattered most. Japanese infantry never expected the shotgun. They prepared for rifles. They trained against bayonets. They endured artillery. But the 12-gauge changed everything. In the jungles of the Pacific, the shotgun became more than a weapon. It became a message. Close combat now belonged to America.